Work, work, work. Hey, what's up? I'm just going live because it's easier. Not going to stay on too long, but I just wanted to make this video so you could watch it later. Reason I haven't been around lately is I had some extracurricular stuff going on last week. Had a couple of parties to go to. I'm working with StockTwitch, so as you know, we're putting together that trade app. It's Robinhood meets Instagram meets Snapchat. Pretty cool stuff. I think the idea, yeah, I was going to talk about swing trading, man. What's up? Because the multi-day VWAPs have been working so great with the swing trades that, again, the reason I'm still doing this, and again, I'm not doing as much as I used to. I don't know if you saw the video. My dad, I mean, it's in the family. He's still long the cues from back, 2009. I can't really trade too actively while I'm got the microphone in my hand. Generally, I got my feet up on the desk. I'm using one hand and I got the microphone. And I'm just looking for ideas for these guys. That's really what I enjoy doing and finding ideas. If I do one nice trade, sometimes that's good enough for me for the week. Like, Beyond Meat short 2 weeks in a row. Roku from last month was phenomenal. And just knowing that my dad's still rocking the QQQ from a cost average of around 50 at this point, sitting here at 196, it's like I feel like I have that trade. But right now, everything's working. So swing trades are working phenomenally because I'm usually picking stocks that have gotten their ass kicked already. So the levels, when they start to come back, are really pretty pronounced, and you could see where if then, this whole market is if then statements. If this number breaks, generally you gravitate to the next trade, and that's where the multi-day VWAPs have been coming into play, and I've never seen it work as well as this. So lately I've been putting on swing trades, and I'm not going crazy because I like to trade where I have no risk. All right, if I buy 300 shares of US Steel at $11.20, I get it. In theory, I'm risking $300 as if US Steel was going to go out of business the day after I bought it. But I'm not going to put too much money at risk because, again, even though I've been skeptical about this market and completely wrong, okay, I was right a month and a half ago when we got that sell-off. I covered that short on the diamonds, and I've been wrong ever since. I've been wrong for basically a year and a half now. I thought the market was going to have a 15, 20% drawdown. I thought, what we saw in December, we were going to have at least one more time this year. Oh, come on in. It's free. Come and join us. Go to hitthebid.com right now. The password is I will pay Kenny. I'm not joking. That's the password. I will pay Kenny, all one word with a capital I. You get to hang out with me. All right. And then on November 16th, I'm going to do a 5-hour class, which is usually members only. And for the new guys, I charge $350. So basically $350 you get till November. Let's say you show up today, you get till November 16th, take the class, and then I'm going to give you a whole nother month to hang out with me. So probably the best $350 you're ever going to spend in this industry. And then if you decide you want to stay with me for the rest of your life, then we talk about, full-time membership. That's shitcoins. Stay away from them. My shitcoin's still actually positive. I own Tron, which phenomenally is still over what I paid for it because I got in like day one. I don't even know what the hell it is. My millennial friend has other than that, I got Bitcoin at 12,000. I think I'm almost back to break even apparently on Bitcoin. I bought at 12,000, it was at 20,000, I didn't sell any. And I got Ripple at 50 cents, and that was at 250, and I didn't sell any of that either. But I got Tron right under like a nickel. Or no, right under half I think it was a nickel. Or no, it was sub penny at the time. That's the whole thing. I think it was 0.05. I got Tron. And the only reason I own Tron is because I thought it was funny. I mean, if there's ever going to be a fake currency, they should name it Tron. I mean, again, I'm a child of the 80s. Plus, I like, who's the actor and that was in the movie? The guy from The Dude or whatever it is. But what I want to come here and tell you about is that, again, I had my Grateful Dead event, which is usually a 2-day thing. That led into the trade app thing. And then I had to go coma for about a day and a half. And then I got these crazy allergies. Jeff Bridges, thank you very much. And I just hasn't been feeling well. Plus, I'm really the only one that runs all this stuff. You know, I got my guy Solid Jello, which phenomenal. The guy, this is somebody I taught about this stuff 10 years ago. Obviously, you know, you heard the story, Brian Shannon with the anchored VWAP and Zach Hurwitz, who showed it to me, and we took it and ran with it, and we have it on multiple period VWAP also, and that's all we do. But the VWAP really is part of what we do because I've been trading the same style for 25 years using candlesticks and range breaks. The VWAP now gives me that heads up that I'm going to be right on the trade. It gives me also an earlier entry than I normally would be getting. So like on Beyond Meat today, Beyond Meat was a combination of a VWAP trade and just knowing levels. Because generally when a big stock, there's huge algorithmic numbers that have been around forever, even before algos have taken over the market. A stock that gets into the 30s generally gravitates to 50. If you get through 50, you're looking usually for that 75. Then there's that big area between 75 and 80. 80 is a big, big number in trading. Once you get through 80, generally you gravitate towards the 100, and that's when you get some stocks that generally will go to 120. But so on the way down, it kind of works the same way. By the way, we're in a trade now. All the swing trades have worked. I mean, and I'm not really good at swing trading, but I like dead cat bounces that turn into these swing trades. So I got US Steel on, I got Bed Bath & Beyond, I got INSG, and now I got Work, WORK. And as a goof, I had to buy this Virgin Galactic. I mean, to not buy this stock is, I can't not buy it. This is such a throwback. I mean, the symbol is space. The name of the company is Virgin Galactic. And they're traveling to space just for fun. Who doesn't want to own stock in this company? I only bought 300 shares so far, and I'm losing money on it. But if it breaks 1050, I'm probably going to admit that I'm wrong and just dump it and take my loss on it. But I got to own this stock. I got to own the stock. Space, SPCE. I bought it today. I'm already down $60, but whatever. But this Work trade, this is why I love this market, okay? We've been yelling about how all these IPOs have been worthless, right? But there's a point where somebody thinks they have some value. Right now, there's no value at all on Grubhub, if you see what that stock's doing. But once you get a stock that capitulates, if you look at the chart, and again, the reason I'm not doing the charts here is I want you to come into the room and see the charts live. By the way, Work, new highs, US Steel, new highs, Bed Bath & Beyond, new highs. So right now, all my trades are working, which is very, very rare. You know, I got INSG. I had to buy that back once it broke over 40. US Steel, we were in it. It didn't work. And I was like, you know what? Enough of this US Steel. I'm always wrong about the stock. But then it had bad news the next day. And I was so happy that I didn't lose money on it. You know, I lost a little bit. But then it fought back after that bad news came out. Or not bad news, but they were doing more of an offering, I think it was. Stock got down big the next day, and it fought back and broke back above the prior high. And that was like, you know what? I'm in. $11.20. And we're not talking about huge amount of money, but again, I trade just to show the examples to everybody else. Should I have bought a lot more than 300 shares of US Steel? Of course. It's an $11 stock. Usually I'm in, you know, a couple of thousand. Anything under 1250, I'm generally in 1,000 or 2,000. You know, the Work, I got 300 or 400 shares right now, $22 stock. But what the multi-day VWAP gives you, it gives you a really nice area of where the stock probably will gravitate to once it finds its bottom. Now, when do they find their bottom? We don't know until it finds the bottom for us. So I'm not buying Work yesterday at 1986. I'm not buying it at $20. I'm not even buying it at 20 and a half. But then it started ripping. And I was like, hey, this bottom looks like it's in. Oh, I just broke my chart again. Hold on a second. By the way, if you want to come to the room, it's live for you. This is your 2-day VWAP right here. So yesterday, and it was really near the close that I bought it. First, you hung out above the VWAP, Hey, what's up, everybody? I'm just doing a little VWAP action on YouTube for the people. So just going over this work trade and why it was so special to me. You capitulated under the VWAP yesterday, right? You caught the bottom. Nobody catches the bottom. Here you're thinking this thing's going to 1750 and 0. Gets to the VWAP. This consolidation above the VWAP was significant. And then the attempt to break back under it, you didn't break back under it. And then you broke the range. Then you broke the multi-day VWAP and the half number. And again, I missed the main part of that move right there. But once it got to 21, I was thinking I missed it. It starts to sell off, but then breaks back above it. I figured, you know what? Let's buy some here at 21 bucks. Maybe this gets us back to that 22.50 area where it kind of broke down from. And look where we are today. So again, these are great trades, and you could take as many shares as you want. These are liquid stocks. You could trade options on them. So the same thing about the work, same thing about the US Steel, and the same thing about the Bed Bath & Beyond. So to my friend out there, and I call you my friend because healthy debate doesn't mean we don't like each other. I was saying I don't get why Bed Bath & Beyond is up this much just because one guy got hired. But then the stock proved it to me. It rallied, and then it came back to $11.70, and it held the gap price. Once it held the gap price, ding, 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 the dinner bell's on. Now you're thinking, you know what? The stock just refreshed itself. It held support. Let's get involved at 12 and change. And now the stock is closing in on our target. Our target is 1579, which happens to be, I think it was the 2-year VWAP, maybe the 3-year VWAP, which is, again, when I do trades like this and they work, it's still baffling to me because why would a 2-year VWAP be significant? And I think it's the 2 years. So let me just check for you. There it is. 1556 right now is our target on Bed Bath & Beyond. And as I'm talking, the market's tanking for some reason. And I also want to apologize to my you guys friend. You obviously know more about you guys than I do. I mean, I was right for the first 4 or 5 days. You got into it a little bit early, but you have been trading this thing like a master. I will not comment anymore because once you've shown me the light, you said, I'm buying the dip. These are the dips that are going to work. And I was like, I don't know. I would take the money and run. And here you are sitting with 10,000 shares. And I don't remember the last time we've seen you guys up this much. It's been about a year and a half. So kudos to you and your amazing you guys trading. The only thing I could say is that maybe you should have sprinkled in some short D-gas. Because if you're really loving the you guys, D-gas has just fallen 50 points where you guys has only rallied 3. So again, I know it's a whole different ball game, but you just got to always remember, as much as you're loving this you guys, it's not a real stock. And at any time, again, it really truly doesn't reflect the nat gas trade that you want to put on going into the winter. So if you're, again, you're going to get that slippage, but right now you are phenomenally right. Absolutely amazing trade. Kudos to you, man. But if I had to choose what I'm going to do, you guys is not going to be one of my go-to stocks. I'm going to trade these VWAPs. The standard VWAP, generally, you're 1 minute, okay? You're getting about 50 to 60% of the platforms finally have just the 1 minute standard. Basically, your 1 minute is your go-to VWAP. It's been around for 20, 30 years. What Brian Shannon does is that he can calculate the VWAP based on any price target that he takes. He calls it the anchored VWAP. What we use, my standard trade is the 1 minute to the 1 day. So for instance, let me show you the work trade. Back on the work. Go back to the 1 minute, 1 day. Yesterday was very significant, right? Now look at that 1 minute. The 1 day VWAP was that support as it was yesterday's 1 minute. So that becomes significant today. Hang on, let me go switch the other trade. So now your 1 minute is 2209, but your multi-day is 21 because it's taking the data from the prior day. So what you want to do is then you start going out to the 2 day and the 3-day, so it grabs more data. So this stock's been pretty dead for a while. Look at how all the multi-day VWAPs are basically the same price because the stock's been awful. And let's see, the 1 month. That's our ultimate goal now. So we're looking at a 1 month because that's the only significant VWAP that comes into play. And we've got a great entry price. We've sold most of it here at $22.50 because I love a stock. When you get a stock that goes from 20 to $22.50, you've won. It's a great trade. Just like Smile Direct. Remember we were joking around how awful Smile Direct is? You got a $10 entry and it went to 12 bucks. You've won. That's a 20% move in 4 days. It would take you over 100 years to make that in the bank. So going back to the swing trade idea, usually if you want to look at the charts that we're in right now, US Steel, Bed Bath & Beyond, INSG, Work, and I mean, space is just a joke. There's no reason for me to own this. It's just that I'm just being stupid about it. I need to own Virgin Galactic space travel stock because I can't see this thing failing. I can't see it failing. I don't know. But if it breaks 1050, I'm dumping it. I'm just letting you know. As much as I love it right now, if it's breaking 1050, my idea is over. I'm going to cut it out and just move on. But let's talk about what happened today. All right. Obviously, you know I've been a champion of the Beyond Meat short, right? And, you know, because I was conservative on the trade, didn't make as much money as should have, obviously. And again, I just trade because I want to keep my energy level up. I want to have some skin in the game. Because, you know, I got 600 shares of Bed Bath & Beyond. I got 300 shares of US Steel. I got 1,000 shares of INSG, and I got 300 shares of Space. These are nothing positions, but they're keeping me interested, and they're keeping me, you know, focused on what I want to teach everybody else. So that's why I do it. And also, I'm very unlucky. Again, to date, still, my 3 biggest positions over the last 18 months have been losses. And there's no denying it. Crushed on the Alibaba, crushed on the Yext, crushed on the Amarin, almost crushed on the PCG. Damn. Thank God I learned my lesson. As soon as that thing started, going back under 18, I was like, you know what? Screw this thing. And I would have got crushed on that one also. So bottom line is all of these trades, the Bed Bath & Beyond, the US Steel, the INSG, and I can't believe this, you guys, is 1675. It's unbelievable. And the Work. Well, the Work's a little bit different. That one I got into. If I had to choose between Microsoft or Roku, there's no choice there. I'm not a fan of Roku. Plus, you've had a 35-point bounce. What I am going to say is going to be mind-blowing here. If I had to choose a stock, right now, well, I love this Work trade right now. I'm looking for, if we get through 2269, we then could start looking at that 1 month VWAP. So 2327. We're not talking about a big money. But if Beyond Meat, this is crazy. I know. I think the stock's going to 40 bucks. But in the next 3 days, you might be able to make some money on it. So here, take a look. If Beyond Meat can hang in there today and close above just the 1 minute, that might trigger some short covering. That's the only thing I'm going to say. Again, would I hold it overnight? Absolutely not. So is it a swing trade? By definition, I guess not, if I'm saying not to hold it overnight. For me, the day trade was great, but now it's reverted back to the 1 minutes because we had the Beyond Meat this morning. Some of our guys got in at 80.5. One of our guys got in at 81.50. Beyond Meat, BYND. BYND. Now, again, I'm not a fan. I think the stock goes to 77 bucks. And then if it breaks 77, it's going to 40. And then maybe, be a $20 stock. Who knows? But for now, if it stays above this VWAP and just convinces some of the shorts to give up, you might get, 7 or 8 points out of this thing, which that's not a bad trade. But as far as swing trades right now, if it wasn't for the fact that US Steel is going to report on Thursday, I would say stick around with US Steel. But let's just wait to see the report. Okay, we're up $1 on the swing trade right now. US Steel, again, if you're a big Trump fan, you got to think, eventually this infrastructure play is going to play out. It hasn't worked yet. It's one of the worst stocks over the last 2 years, but that's what makes it interesting. Okay, that's what makes it interesting. You're over the monthly VWAP. You're over that 1120 area. We're looking for 1266, which is the monthly high. If we get through 1266, then we're talking, you got your 3-month VWAP. Let's see. If you can get through that 1266, which is what we call kind of an ass crack breakout, if you see the chart, then we're looking for it to recapture the highs. And again, it's only another $1. It's, 1365. But that's when the fun can get started. If US Steel can get something going here, 1365 can get us up to 1590. So I'm not hating the US Steel as much as I used to. Obviously, I own it right now. But I love Bed Bath & Beyond because that keeps finding support every time it has a down day. Down days are very shallow, and then it follows through to the upside the next day. Beautiful breakout. Got to $15, okay? And if we break 15, you have a 1-year VWAP on this thing. Sorry, it's the 2-year VWAP on this one also. This stock's been awful, and that's why I like it. 1556. But if you break a 2-year VWAP, now you're talking about the next area of concern is around 1650. So again, I don't know what you're looking for as far as swing trades. For me, if you make anything, it's a great trade, right? So if you're making $1 or $2 on a $13 or $14 stock, you're crushing the world. Because again, all I'm looking to do with any of this stuff is, am I beating the bank? Yeah, I know, that's why I liked it. Yeah. And I was wrong about it too. I admitted I was wrong. It tested the support, and then it took off again from 1170, and I got back in at 1250, and so far so good. And the US Steel, I just got this in at 11. My cost is 1120. Bed Bath & Beyond is about 1250. INSG had to get back in around 480, and I bought more at 520, which is, I had to swallow my pride on that one, but so far so good. What else looks interesting as the swing? SDC, you missed the 20% move, so that's, I'm not looking at that one anymore. Peloton was another one, another destroyed IPO that was interesting to me. Again, this market we have earnings coming out every day. So I don't look specifically for a swing trade. They come out of the day trades. So US Steel was a good day trade the other day. We decided to hold on to a little bit. Bed Bath & Beyond, same story. So tomorrow, there'll be some stock that we're not even thinking about right now that probably will turn into a good day trade and then possibly a decent swing trade. I do like the Akamai. The stock usually fights its way back, AKAM, usually fights its way back after an earnings. Also, again, I know we've already gone through this, but Goldman Sachs. So for next quarter, Goldman Sachs generally sells off on earnings. It's a fake out move consistently now for about 10 years. They hardly ever have a blowout number. It's usually a bad number. They talk about it on CNBC, disappointing this, disappointing that, stocks gap down, and within a day or two, it makes it all back and then breaks out. This is a trade where you could make a living 4 times a year if Goldman Sachs gaps down by it. And once again, I don't play the earnings. I play the day after the earnings. So if I had to choose one stock, let's see, that I think might blow out earnings, I still love Cisco. I think they report again, I don't gamble before earnings reports come out. I'm really curious about US Steel. If it gaps up after I sell out, I'm planning on selling the stock at 359 before they report. I don't want to hold the US Steel into the report. Generally, it's been a bad report. If it blows out numbers and surprises everybody and it runs without me, so be it, right? I could always get back in after the fact. But I'm probably not going to hold US Steel into the number. I'm probably going to hold INSG into the report. that one, again, I'm looking as it a 2-year hold, so I shouldn't be too concerned about every report that comes out. What else is out there that I like? I still like Cisco. I still like Disney, but the bottom line is if you're an investor or a swing trader, you haven't been able to beat the market. So generally, if you're going to trade something, you want to own something, the market, diamonds, Q's, spies, it's been a great trade. And you want to hear something even more psychotic? UVXY finally has a double bottom. I'm not saying that it's a good buy, but lately, the last 2 days, it's been putting in, a little bit of a bottom there. But for me, it's what does the stock do in the aftermarket, after the report or the pre-market? Let it build its range, give me some VWAP action, and then, take it from there. Because that's the way to, you stay liquid. What hot corp news? What's hot corp news? Hey, what's up? By the way, Bed Bath & Beyond, I'm loving this stock. I love this stock more because I was wrong about it at first. I thought it would just give up that whole gap. And once it double bottomed, I was like, you know what? Let's get involved. What else? What else do I like? Well, I own another stock. I don't talk about it. This is one of my dad's babies, VGR. I don't really talk about it because it's a dividend paying stock. It got hammered on the vape scandals and all the people being afraid of, tobacco products and all that stuff. But the dividend is massive. If you guys want to take a look at a dividend paying, stock that got its ass kicked. And now that it's gotten beat up, the dividend's even higher. So I bought this thing at about $11. So far, so good. I'm not selling it. I'm just waiting to see. My dad's telling me I got to own this thing. So he's been on fire for 20 years. And yeah. You love Roku to death. You think it's the next Netflix. Holy shit, it's 146? You can see I don't really watch that. Holy, last I saw was 130. Wow. See, I don't get it. I don't get the Roku as, it's just a platform to use other people's content. That's why I don't get it. But I guess they're doing something right. What other stuff's interesting to me? What was the one? Uber and Lyft got down here. ENPH, that was interesting down there. Oh, that's going to be an earnings report tonight. Yeah. So we'll see what their story is. That was some monster run. Beautiful short by one of you guys out there that told me about it. Yeah. All right. So that'll be interesting. Now, that's what we'll probably be trading tomorrow. So we watch the gap, see how it turns out. Good numbers, bad numbers, doesn't matter. We're just waiting to see the range that it forms, and then trade around the VWAP and the range breaks. Yeah, you guys, just unbelievable. I was 6 cents off on the work trade. By the way, I decided not to sell. I mean, I sold some of it, but I held more than I thought I was going to hold. I'm still in it. I was going to sell it all at $22.50, but I decided to hold on to 300. So still got the work, still got the steel, Bed Bath & Beyond, INSG. And space. I mean, I don't know if you guys know about space. Virgin Galactic. I do not want to own this company. Usually if you buy something with your heart, you lose money. But Virgin Galactic. We travel to space for fun. I don't know. I don't have enough money to travel to space for fun. Not that I would, because I'm scared of heights. But Bed Bath & Beyond, still loving this thing. Every pullback seems to be getting bought. I mean, it's not a mover, but you got $1 left of this one. Here's one. This has been one of the more disappointing stocks that hasn't found a bottom yet. Crowd, CRWD, absolutely getting lit up. Every time I see upgrades of any of the S&P 500, the stock keeps climbing with no stop. Who's pushing it? Big money. This market now is all algorithmic. It's all if-then statements. I don't think upgrades really are. Upgrades are usually the analyst's way of cashing out of something, as I've come to know over the last 20 years. I don't look at upgrades and downgrades for me are good fades for the day. You know, it's hard to be wrong if you're recommending the market right now. And again, one of the smartest guys that I know, Jeff Hirsch, who wrote the Stock Traders Almanac. I don't know if you know who the guy is. You should Google him. He was on Benzinga this morning. Even he, a guy that is a super genius at this, he's been doing this. His dad wrote the Stock Traders Almanac. I mean, I don't have a copy here to show you, but I think I gave it away. Yeah, I gave all my almanacs away, but he wrote a couple of books. Smart guy. He goes spies, Q's, diamonds also, because if the market continues to go up, why not just buy the market? Because again, years ago, you didn't have these opportunities to buy the market. You couldn't buy the Dow Jones. You couldn't buy, the best top 100 NASDAQ stocks all rolled into one, or, the spies themselves. So why try to guess what's going to be the next hot stock where you could just buy everything? Because everything collectively is still going higher. Now, I can't imagine, again, as much as I'm bearish because of circumstances around the world, which I thought this time would maybe influence the market, we've shrugged it off again. As much as I'm bearish, I can't imagine having a, ass raping. That's the only thing I can think of, like we did last year. Last year, we went down on days that the market we never, ever sell off on Christmas Eve. And we went down, 750 points that day. I got back to the desk. I was like, what happened? I couldn't believe it. The chances of that happening are so slim. So now I'm thinking we might actually have the complete opposite, some parabolic, just sick, crazy squeeze, because now we're going into the best month. November is usually awesome. By the way, the idea of October being a scary month, it's not anymore. September is the month, really, that it's usually bad. October gets a bad rap because we've crashed twice in it, but that's over 100 years. All right? It's not that bad of a month. And then we usually get into November. Supposedly today is one of the best days of the market historically. But usually November and December are pretty good. And then we have the Santa Claus rally, and then we have the January effect, and then you have some profit taking. And all of that's in the Stock Traders Almanac. It's really a great read. Everybody should get it every year. It's interesting. You should read anything Jeff Hirsch puts out. I'm with you. I think you're going to squeeze any shorts into the end of the year. I think it could be, as much as I am the reason this market is going to go higher. Not me in particular, but my thought process. I was nervous. I was wrong. I thought other circumstances was going to hurt the market. I was wrong. But there are other people that are not only wrong, they're betting against it. So now they have to cover. And then you got the people that need to show results. So they're going to pile into the market at the end of the year because they have to try to match what the market's doing. So they're going to pile in, and the shorts are going to cover. And then you got the fear of missing out people. So there's a good chance of a parabolic move into the end of the year. So we're talking about another 2,000 points easy, which is only 6.5%, 7% to go up into the end of the year. And if we truly go parabolic, let's say we tack on 10% going into the end of the year, that's 2,700 points from here. And guess what we're talking about? Dow 30 thou. Merck. You like Roku and you like Merck. Man, you're on two opposite sides of the spectrum on that. I haven't looked at Merck since 1987. I don't know. Isn't this like the... I don't have an opinion on Merck. That's like Pfizer. I don't know. But I have stories that I like to tell you, right? And some of the stories I want to talk to you guys about, because the Beyond Meat story, I'm just giving you the tip of the iceberg. I've got some people involved in Beyond Meat. And the story is just too wild to even be true, but it's true. I can't tell the story here. Come to the room one day and I'll tell you the story about the Beyond Meat. Just insane. Insane. And it's worth saying over and over again. You know, so you got to come to the room for those private stories. But yeah, generally what we're looking for is earnings reports. So let's talk about what's going to happen. It's more about who owns it and their positions that they have. And, you know, I really can't talk about it publicly. Let's see, tonight, what are we going to be looking at? So Tuesday, we got 110 companies coming out tonight. AMD, people. You know we're going to be all over this tomorrow. AMD. You got Allstate. You got Amgen. We're already excited. Look at this. You got Boston Beers usually all over the place. And that's going to be an interesting one now that Budweiser got smoked. Cheesecake Factory, it's all right. Cybercock's coming out. How's that stock doing? Remember that one? Another one of my terrible swing trades. Oh, wow. It's actually back in the 4s. You guys know about Cybercock? You don't know about Cybercock. CYH? See, if you come to the room, you'll know why we call it Cybercock. Some of you guys know. Cybercock. I'm a huge fan of AMD because that set me up, a couple of years ago. That was my entire year, on the Goldman Sachs triple downgrade at $3.50, $4. They're downgrading this thing in my face. I'm sitting there with the biggest position I had on in years. And I'm like, how are you downgrading it to a sell? The stock just broke out of a 3-year downtrend. And the only explanation was that they must have been short, or one of their clients was short, so they kept downgrading it to get their guy out of the trade, and then it moved on without them. Because you think Goldman Sachs cares about their reputation? They downgraded AMD to a sell, not just a near-term intermediate market perform. They said sell it. Under 5. They said the stock's going $1. They said don't go near it. Awful. By the way, VGR new highs. I'm getting old, guys. I'm getting old. I got this new fancy, this new awesome thing. My finger just moves by itself. They call it like a trigger finger or some shit. This is awesome. My finger just like cramps up and goes down by itself. I gotta struggle to get it back up. Getting old's awesome. I can't see. My knees are killing me. Jesus. The fuck. So goddamn annoying. By the way, your Uber call, nice. Here, actually, we got a guy. He's in the. He's set up an Uber trade here. Our buddy's Solid Jello. So another what we call the ass crack VWAP break. So right around here, I think you were looking at it on the VWAP hold. So you got this massive spike from the 1 minute to the multi-day. Wow, that can't be the 1 day, right? No, that's the 5 day. Oh wow, it's actually the same. Weird. Look how that went 1 minute multi-day, 1 minute multi-day, finally consolidated at a higher range, and now you're breaking over that multi-day VWAP. Not bad. Nice idea. Nice trade. Love Tesla. Love it. I loved it a lot more 100 points ago, but love Tesla. Love the cars. Love Elon Musk. Smoke all the pot you want. Do anything you want on the internet. The guy's like the Teflon Don. He's the Teflon CEO. Can't do anything wrong. Love this guy. Love that company. Love that stock. I think this is going to $600. And I think if they were smart, not everybody can afford to buy a $300 stock. So if this thing gets to the 400 level, I think they do a 4-for-1 split, maybe a 5-for-1. Get this bad boy under $100 so everybody can afford to buy it again. Boom. Everybody starts piling back into Tesla under 100. They rip this thing back to 150 and gives you a split adjusted price of around $600. Love Tesla. Love it. Not, again, not for this week, next week, or the week after. I think 5 years from now, 4 years from now, this thing's up another 100%, 100% from here. $600 stock. I love it. Everybody's got some sort of sexual assault charges on the books now, right? Dude, nice call on the Uber. Here we go. Got through the multi-day, to the top of the range. Now you're about to break the pre-market high. So if you get through 32.83, that's when you're looking for that $33 spot. Nice. I think it is consolidating to move higher. Love it. Love it. Again, it's gone parabolic. Last Friday was one of the best trades. I didn't do it, but one of our guys was in the $300 calls from about $4, sold him at 30. Unbelievable. I just sat there, I was in other stuff, totally whiffed on it, especially because I love the stock, totally missed it. But now I'm looking for a reason to buy it. You give me it coming back to around, I don't know if you're going to get this chance, but if you give me some Tesla at 288, I might actually buy some and just throw it into a long-term account. I don't know if you're going to get that 288, but you give me some at 288, I'm loving it. Let's see if we get I guess right now, if you're looking at it, depending on your time frame, of course, also. Yeah, 288 would be an awesome price, but I don't think we're going to get there. By the way, your Merck's hitting new highs. Good for you. What's the all-time? What's the lifetime VWAP? I'm curious. The lifetime VWAP on Tesla. If you guys are in the room now, the lifetime VWAP is 224.88. And look how many times it came to that price for a while there and consolidated here, kind of tagged it before it blew up. Bang. Here's the premise on Tesla, right? I understand it was a lot of hype and there was a cult of personality thing going on there, right? But the stock went to let's call it 400, right? Stock went to 400 just on speculation. So now if they've turned a profit and things are really starting to click there, stock should get back to 400, right? Minimum. And then when it breaks 400, there's nowhere for else this thing to go to but to 500. So again, I can't say enough. I love it. I love it. Even if I'm wrong, I love it. And I'm eventually going to own one of those cars. So I love it. I mean, my buddy's got 3 of them. He's got every single one of those cars. They're just sick. You hear nothing and you just go. It's just awesome. And that just huge screen. It's like, it really is awesome. It really is. And now they've come down to, reasonable price for the S. Love it. Beyond cracks on the up or the down. I haven't seen a red tick in a while. Yeah. So the Beyond Meat long trade is kind of getting voided right now, which is all right because I don't own it. Overstock, I think, is a wannabe worthless eBay that got caught up in Bitcoin, right? They had something to do with Bitcoin. Everybody went nuts, and then they realized it wasn't. But it's been an amazing trade, day trading stock over the last couple of weeks. Once it got into that $9, $10 range, I don't know much about it. To me, it smells scammy. Smells like penny stocky. This thing just not. I'd avoid it. It's only a day trade now. And also, know what else I've been wrong about, but I'm thinking about buying it finally, is Funko. But hang on, your Uber trade, new highs. Nice. You're looking, there you go. Just got the 82 out of it. Now you're looking, if you could break 32.83, you're looking for a full retrace, 32.97. Nice. And then you are looking for it to go green. Nice pickup. FizzBiz. They put the resistance line at 318. No big again by. I think that's bullish that you're saying, right? I like your Uber, man. I like your Merck too. Merck new highs. Uber new highs. Come on. Uber's the only thing live right now. The guys in the room have some Uber. Goodyear tire. Wow, there's an old school one. Possible reversal. Did they report? Oh, that's nice. 1 minute multi-day VWAP reversal on Goodyear tire. You're speaking my language right now. Look at that. Man, look at that. Just capitulation right into like a V bottom. That looks like something numbers driven, right? Goodyear tire, blah, 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 blah. I can't read that far. Earnings were 3 or 4 days ago, and they got downgraded today. Always the best time to buy a stock. Downgraded after it got beaten up. Always the best time to buy a stock. Wow. Actually, this looks pretty good for the day and right this second. Yeah, Merck, nice call. Rocking. I like the Akamai still. You pulled back to the VWAP and you held it. You're only down $1 now. It's just it's a lumbering turd. You know, got back to the VWAP. Now you're back above it. I'll probably look for this thing to follow through. Brandon, what's up? We're kind of just recapping right now, unless you're talking about something completely different. You ready to make some moves? Are you locked and loaded? Yeah, we did all right on Beyond Meat. Couple of longs in there. Made 20% on an option play. Oh, you still holding the puts? An hour ago, I would have told you to get out. But if you can't stay above the VWAP at, let's say at 2 o'clock, if you're still below the VWAP, chances are you're going to roll over and test the 80. Grubhub, good question. This one has found nobody yet. Nah, I could be wrong, but still no love. Still no love. I mean, this is probably the ugliest thing I've seen in a long, long time. Not to have any significant bounce, being down this much, there's nobody on earth buying this thing right now. And, you know, down here at 33, you got to be thinking 32.50 and then maybe $30. I mean, I wouldn't go near this thing. You know, you might get an algorithmic reversion trade for a couple of points if this thing can find somebody to buy it. But right now, it's just been death and just a slow bleed, and kind of looked like Twitter did a couple of days ago. And Twitter is just awful. You know, another one that I got wrong. You know, I thought Twitter would be a $50 stock, and I was close. You know, it got to like 47, I think. I thought Twitter would be, you know, flirting with 55, 60 bucks at this point. Completely got that one wrong. But it's all right. It's all right to be wrong as long as you didn't get crushed on something. And you know what I got wrong? I just want to give a shout out to one of the greatest calls of 2019 ever, Stamps.com. Sorry, I forgot your name right now, but he runs a chat room. We were at the Benzinga event And at the end of the event, they said, "What's your number one call?" I was half kind of joking around when I said Slack because it was at the high of the day. I was like, "Buy it here at 42," and that was the top tick of the stock ever. But he said, if I had to choose one stock, my favorite idea to possibly double your money on, this guy, Jeremy Newsom, he said stamp.com at $38 a share. Holy shit. I mean, here's a company that sells stamps for the government, and then they lost the government contract. Why are they still in business? But apparently they figured something out, and the stock went up 300%. Unbelievable. From 35 bucks up to 90 and change. Just absolutely amazing. Amazing call. But Grubhub, there's nobody here. There is nobody buying this stock. Goodyear Tire, baby. I'll buy some for you. Here, hang on. I'm in. I'm in. I'm in. I'm up a penny now. Uh-oh. Gonna be up 2 pennies. I like this. I like that chart. Goodyear Tire, 16.69. Oh, I'm up 2 cents. Come on. How much are these options? These got to be dirt cheap, right? How much is a $17 call? Could be a couple of nickels, right? You know, if you can get the 17s for a nickel, I wouldn't pay 15, but I'd pay a nickel. This thing goes green, you might get some carry forward till tomorrow. I haven't looked at Goodyear Tire in a couple of years. Actually did well with this stock once before. You know what? Long-term chart, we've missed a 60% bounce already. You've got room to get to around 17 and a quarter, but that is a massive move off the lows already. So I like it right this second, but you might run out of steam here. Up 4 cents now. Oh. Yeah, that's a massive move. 10.75 to 16.75. That's a huge, huge bounce already. I mean, it did consolidate and then just break out. I'm on the fence. I mean, I'm in it right now with you. Up 3 cents, up 4 cents. Come on. Woo! Making money. Why don't everybody go buy some space right now? All right? SPCE. Stay above 11, you piece of shit. I hope I make money on this trade. It feels so good. Usually when something feels this good, you usually lose money on it. Virgin Galactic. Hey, we're only a nickel away from going green on Goodyear Tire. Not bad. Uh-oh. We're starting a frenzy here on Goodyear Tire. My boy just bought 100,000 shares. Go, Brandon. It's your birthday. 4 cents, baby. Oh, 5 cents. Uh-oh, 5 cents. We're up a nickel now. That's it. Take the money and run. You think 20? It's a big move off those lows already. So let's see. Let's see what we got. 6-month VWAP, 14 and a quarter. We ruined you ruined it. See? Once you said 20, he's like, you're getting greedy. 9 month is 16.12. Let's see. What are you thinking about the one? Well, I was saying this thing could get to about 7. Wow. See, that's why I use the guys. Take a moment to reflect. Again, I'm not a huge fan of this trade, obviously, because of that 60% move. But look, you see where it broke down from? And I say the target on the stock should be around 1724. The 1-year VWAP is 1740, almost exactly where I drew the line. And that's how VWAP, again, this is how my evolution as a trader with the multi-day VWAP started. I draw my own lines. And then I started watching, as Zach was telling me, he's like, you're plotting multi-day VWAP. And I was like, what the hell is multi-day VWAP? And now that's all I use. That's pretty cool. So again, yeah, if you get some, I'd like to see it consolidate, if it pulls back, and hangs above that last range break, which is 1587, you want it to sit here and consolidate and then get to that 1740. 1740 looks doable, Again, this is usually more of a swing trade anyway. I'm looking at the monthly, yeah. I see 1740 as, you're going to have major resistance at like around 1785. So, getting to 20, there's a lot of freaking noise in there. That's a lot of, that's going to be a tough move. But this next 70 cents looks doable. Grub. Oh, another Grubhub fan. Let's see. There hasn't been a buyer yet, so I don't want to be the first guy. I mean, the only thing going for Grub right now is the risk reward. All right. Buy it right now, right? Assuming you're buying at 33.45, right? The most you're losing is 40 cents. Because if it breaks 33, the trade's done. So I'm not saying that's going to be the bottom. But if you're dying to try to play a bounce, at least you're only 40 cents above the low. And you know for a fact that there's no way in hell you're letting this thing break back under 33 without dumping it. And I'm not saying that it's a buy because there is nobody buying this thing. Look, it's just bleeding to death all day. And usually you'll get a decent squeeze somewhere. I mean, I guess you got one here, but it really was very insignificant. You want to see an interesting play right now? I like your Ollie, OLLY, and I like your box, and I like U.S. Steel going green. My man, I can't believe I'm making money on U.S. Steel. It's insane. OLLI, that's been coming out of the bottoming formation, just got out of the downtrend. And what was the other one I just mentioned? Oh, box. Consolidating with in a downtrend, but you're trying to fight back, and you're looking like you might go green right now. By the way, you see Grubhub? It stinks. There's no buyers. No buyers. Wait, and going back to that one from before, NTNX. NTNX was interesting, setting up there on a reversal. But again, usually at 12:45, we're just recapping what we did already. Never really enthusiastic about putting on trades. And you should never be enthusiastic about putting on fresh trades between generally 12 and 2. But, sometimes if the trade is setting up where it's our favorite setup, you put on a little bit. If it doesn't work, you're not going to lose bad. If it starts to work, then you add to the trade. All right, let me get a drink. But NTNX still looks all right. Box is looking all right. And Goodyear Tire, we're goofing around with it. But yeah, we had a nice trade. Akamai, we lost on it once. Then we made some back. And then it moved without us. Beyond Meat was pretty good. We had it twice. Made money on it twice. And that was pretty much the whole day. Everything else is basically... I added to some work. Work was nice today. And everything else is basically a swing trade right now. AMD coming back nice into the number, yeah. US Steel. Now, I don't want to ruin the US Steel trade because the 300 shares is the magic number. But you might still get, again, you could squeeze before the number comes out, which would be good enough to make some money on. So now that you're green, right? What was it? I think it was the 1 month we were looking at. No, broke the 1 month. Yeah, we're just 1266. If we get through 1266 on US Steel, then I might, probably not, but I might hold it into the earnings report. Chances are I won't, but I'm digging this trade right now. You consolidated above the last range break over the multi-day, and now you've gone green. And this stock is flirting with, that 1 month high again. All right, I'll be right back. But a lot of action. Now we're consolidating again. Nobody's going to really want to get aggressive ahead of the Fed. So we're sticking with reports and, just taking it easy. By the way, INSG fought its way back up. And your Merck. Nice mention there, man. Thing's been rocking since you mentioned it. Nice trade. Merck. I haven't looked at Merck in 25 years. What do they do? I know what they do. They're a drug company, but what's their main drug? Pfizer was Viagra. Was Merck have a main, number one drug? I have no idea. Man, they've been around for 100 years, right, Merck? All right, I need a drink. I'll be back. All right. If anybody can guess where this shirt, what year this shirt is from, I'll give you a free month on the website. I'll give you a hint. It's old, and I never throw anything out. Look at this shirt. It looks like it's brand new. We're redecorating my upstairs closets and all. I found this in one of my drawers. I was like, I remember that shirt. 81 is a good guess. 90. Oh, you nailed it. Cody Wallace. Where have you been, buddy? 1993, baby. Junior, sophomore, junior year of college. I've had this shirt since. Still good. Why not, right? It's retro now. Cool thing is that I still fit into all this stuff. I've been the same size for gotta be 25 years. I wear the same stuff The only thing I got new, I think, is socks and underwear. I would wear. My dad is also the same way. My dad still has clothes. You could see through his shirts. You know what cheesecloth is? You could use some of his shirts as cheesecloth. You could use it as like for science experiments. The Glick men are not clothes horses. Yeah, if I wasn't married, I'd be still, wearing. I'd probably be wearing this every week. The only reason I have new clothes is my wife. This shirt's older than you. So do you guys know about the space IPO? I mean, it sucks so far, but I bought it at 11.20. I'm down $60 now. U.S. Steel. Space, SPCE. Why do I keep clothes that long? I don't know. I throw them in a drawer and then I forget about them. Again, if it's the only stocks that I throw, the only shirts I throw away are like black collared shirts when they get all faded. They just look shitty. Still looks good. You know what else I have in my mom's house still? I have every concert t-shirt I've ever been to. All my Iron Maiden shirts, all my Metallica shirts, my Monsters of Rock, Van Halen, Manowar. I still have my Poison David Lee Roth t-shirt. I mean, stacks and stacks and stacks. That's right. What am I thinking? What am I thinking? Owning a stock that goes to space. There is no space. None of this is real. Let's just load up on a company that sells a bike with an iPad strapped to it. Peloton's actually bouncing. The weirdest band that Poison used to dress up. Every band from the 80s kind of dressed like 80s. Motley Crue, Poison, Gwar. Are you thinking Gwar? They would come out with their metal gear on. Probably thinking Gwar. Manowar used to think they were gladiators also. They were hardcore. A party kind of band from the 80s that used to dress up. Metal or right. Everybody was a freak in the 80s. You know why? Because of the cocaine. I freaking love Devo. Oh, I want to hear that song now. Erica Nathanson, if you're out there, I'm sorry for stealing this album from you. I still have it in my mom's house. If you're out there, Erica, if you want that Devo vinyl back, I still have it. Snowblind. I stole this girl's vinyl. And I never gave it back. I felt bad. But I had a crush on you, Erica. That's why I took it. I wanted you to come over and come get it from me so I could see you again. I think it was called Snowblind, right? Snowblind? Snowball? Snowblind? Ah, Snowball. I thought it was Snowblind. They had an album. Wait, I gotta find it now. It's one of their first albums. We had Whip It on it, of course. What was the album? Go to album. Freedom of Choice. Girl You Want. You know this one? 1980, baby. All right, if you can name that tune.
You know you're headed for the pleasure buzz, but the word can't stop from the tip of your tongue. She's a little thing, but you knew it all along. She's just a girl. She's just a girl. The girl you want. She's just a girl. She's just a girl. The girl you want.
Look at them with your mind spinning. Look at them with your mind spinning. What love you could be over. It's just the girl you want.
She's just a girl.
Man, I was
Just a girl.
9 when this came out.
She's just a girl. She's just a girl. The girl you want.
Erica, if you're out there, I didn't know how to express love at such a young age. That's why I stole your album. By the way, Affinity, you didn't hear about what happened? Dude was a criminal. Right in front of me. And you talk about what's his name? You talk about Madoff and his kids not knowing what was going on. I had no idea. I knew the guy was a little shady and he was all about the money, but everybody's all about the money on Wall Street. It turns out he was doing some criminal shit. Criminal. By the way, Grubhub, new lows. That's why we didn't buy it. But Uber, baby. Come on. Got the Uber? Did you make some money on the Uber? You got to the 90s. Almost got to the exact target. Almost. I mean, again, in the middle of the day, you're not going to get that follow through. You're not going to get your beautiful trades between 12 and 2. I mean, you could play the ranges, but you better be ready to get the hell out. Like Grubhub, right? If anything, it was just a short because once again, there's nobody buying this stuff. And there hasn't been a real reason to buy it. So now that you got maybe a capitulation coming soon, now that it broke 33, you have to be looking by definition for 32.50. If you get to 32.50 and maybe you hang in there, if you come off 32.50 and quickly buy it with the 32.50 as you're out, maybe. But you're just, here you are. This is what we don't do, trying to pick the bottom. If this thing bottoms out and then starts breaking ranges, the bottom has picked itself. By the way, your Goodyear tire stinks. Your Grubhub, eventually it will, somebody's going to want to cover their short. And maybe you will get a move. But right now, it still officially hasn't stopped going down. Right? You just broke a new low. No reason to be looking at this thing as a buy. Because right now you're guessing. Let the bottom pick itself. And it's better to be late and right than early and wrong. And that's $10,000 worth of knowledge right there. You'd rather be late and right than early and wrong. I know there's a difference between chasing like that PCG. That was not only were you late, but that was going to be a crazy chase up there at, 5,475. And look, avoided that disaster. But then what happened? It pulled back to the VWAP. So if you were dying to buy some PCG, and you didn't buy it at 460 and it went to 470 and you were all pissed off about it, look what it did after the fact. It pulled back to the VWAP. So now here, you're buying it at 443 with 4 cents risk. It's a lot better. By the way, my Cisco mentioned that one. That just went green too. By the way, work still hanging above 2250, baby. Usually the middle of the day is to stalk some ideas for possibly that 3 o'clock into the 4 o'clock close. Or you're just looking and learning and experiencing and waiting for the next crop of earnings reports to come out. You're usually not getting breakouts and massive trades in the middle of the day. So for me, it's usually just an avoid time. UVXY stinks so bad, but I'm curious now to see Grubhub. You know, again, you just sold off. Look at, and again, you want to teach. This is how you teach or learn how weak a stock is. Look, it took so long just to get up 20, 30 cents on the Grubhub. And then in one tick, it gave it all back, broke a new low, and got crushed. All right, that's bearish. The time it takes, if something's slowly going down and then makes it all back quickly, that's a bullish. That's a pullback. This is a disintegrating stock with nobody there. There's nobody here. There's nobody buying this thing still. By the way, Merck, new highs. Now that was a decent call. But at 3250 in our world is very significant. That's an algorithmic number. That's a massive, massive number. And there's my wife. Did you buy the pork chops? Did you go to the bank yet? Are you talking to morons? What's wrong with you? Why do you sit in your underwear all day and talk about stocks? Yeah. Did I buy the pork chops? No, I didn't buy the pork chops. No, I didn't buy the pork chops. Are you going to buy the pork chops? Because if you want to buy the pork chops, I was going to buy the pork chops when I went to the bank. I'm just watching Grubhub go to 3250. What? Hang on. You want to see? You want to see some magic right now? Let's see what happens at 3250. If the stock has a massive bid at 3250, it's going lower. If you see the offers at 3251 and a very small bid at 3250, that might be your moment. But let's see what happens at 3250. Because you're this close, you gotta be looking to see if it tests 3250 at least. So far you got there by a nickel, but I want to see it exactly tested because that's the way this market works. It goes to the exact prices because it's all programmed. By the way, VGR new highs, kids. VGR. All right, 55, come on. Give me 3250. Let's see what happens. Somewhere Doug's buying 3,000 shares of this thing with a 32.55 stop. You know that, right? He's already lost $8 probably. He's probably lost at least 12 grand trying to pick a bottom on this all day. And here, I bet you he's out there right now thinking, hey, I'll buy 5,000 right here with a 10-cent stop. Because he's crazy. By the way, that Peloton is really bouncing. Not bad. Wow, I'm surprised you didn't get the extra nickel so far. We'll see. Well, you held it so far. But again, not a big fan of going after this thing, trying to pick bottoms. You know what I'm saying? Nice call on that Merck. Since you mentioned it, it's hit 38 new highs. Wow. Yeah, so to Brandon, we have another guy who lives in the West Coast. He'll come in at like 1 o'clock and say, hey, what's hot? Nothing is hot at 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Nothing. It's a time to just, read your charts, see where you've consolidated and prepare for later in the afternoon, or just, keep an eye on who's reporting that evening and get ready for tomorrow. Usually between 12 and 3, you could use the hourly VWAP that Solid Jello lays out there, and you can find some stocks that are trading in a decent range, but it's a little bit more of a difficult trade. You're not going to get those massive follow-throughs where you're going to get your 4 or 5 points out of a Beyond Meat. You're going to get, rangy trades for every, and I guess Peloton's working. You know, that was a one decent looking idea because it had just broke this range right there and went parabolic through it and then consolidated, and then it broke the half number. It wasn't crazy, but again, you got a 1 minute multi-day VWAP reversal on this thing. You're going to want to chase this parabolic move right here? Nah. You know, you got beautiful trade right there, awesome one right there, through the multi-day right there. If you have 3 or 4 entries on something that you've already missed, usually I'm just like, I missed it. Yeah, again, that's actually when the Fed tomorrow. Probably the only time you want to trade at 2 o'clock is, even then you don't really want to trade because you get a knee-jerk reaction on the Fed. You're going to get that chop anyway, and usually the follow-through happens at 3:15 anyway. Like for every Peloton that's really working here, I mean, just broke 23.40 and you tacked on 40 cents. Yeah, good enough for a day trade. Yeah. I'm not buying the pork chops. You buy the pork chops. You're sitting home. But she's going to. I like my wife. After 25 years, she still thinks I don't have a job. What are you doing? Buy the pork chops. All right, so back to this whole Grubhub. Oh, by the way, I'm being interviewed for a blog. So once that's done, I'll give you the link. Somewhere Doug's laughing at me. He's like, yeah, I did buy it at $32.55 with a 5-cent risk, and now I'm selling it to you at $32.90. Thank you very much. Now, again, if anybody just did that trade, the idea was that once it got to $32.50, the traders that trade the tape, right, love that. That's a good spot because they're, at least, even if the trade didn't work, risk rewards in your favor. Because you know, if you're buying at $32.55, $32.55, you couldn't have got it unless you're sitting there waiting on a bid. But let's say you bought it $60, right? You bought it at $60 with the 5-cent, 10-cent stop, and then it pops 30 cents. You're selling 90% of this right now. And if it breaks over 33, you hold on to it and use 30, then you just use 33 as the stop. But look how it got to $32.50. $32.50 still a very significant price. By the way, this Peloton's making me feel stupid now because it was the only other trade I had thought about doing. Damn. I love me a short squeeze, and look where it just got back to, guys. Just got back to its lifetime VWAP. Boink. And that's why we like the work and the U.S. Steel and the Bed Bath & Beyond, because once they get out of the downtrend, the shorts start to scramble and they cover, and you get these parabolic moves. Now, good for you, man, who bought the Grubhub, you maniac. Nice. I would be selling it. I mean, you just got the 32.60 to 33. You got to be selling 80% right here and hold on to the rest of it for glory. Now you took your 50 cent or your 45 cents, hold on to the rest of it. 32.55 is your out. Now hold it for the rest of the day. Maybe you just caught the bottom of the day. Right? Now there's no reason to sell any more of it. Take your money off the table. You got the last 200 shares. Let's say you bought 600. You hold 200. Now you're looking for $35. Maybe you finally got the squeeze right here. Finally. But once again, $32.50. Significant. That's tape reading, man. This stuff still works. But the guy that finally just made money, you know what he's done? He finally just made some of the money back that he got crushed on all day trying to pick a bottom, right? Because, man, it didn't work, right? He tried to pick a bottom there at 37, got crushed. Oh, maybe 36.50, crushed. Oh, wait, it's bouncing here. Oh, no, 36, crushed. 35, crushed. 34, crushed. So finally at 32.50, he's making some of his money back. That's why I don't try to pick bottoms. But coincidentally, now that I'm looking at it, suddenly it's the greatest thing in the world. See? I know I've given up on, I think we corrected already. I think we had that 1,200 point down move we had. I think that might have been it. As much as I was telling this story before, as much as I'm bearish, I'm thinking we're going up 10% until the end of the year. I mean, I'm not fighting this thing anymore. I'm not even, again, I will keep my bearishness to myself. I'm just trading what I see. Give me some Beyond Meat this morning, little swing trading on some of these dead cat stocks. And, I'm pretty comfortable where I am right now. I don't want to, I'm not going to fight the government. I'm not going to fight this market. I'm not going to fight Trump and his cronies they're not going to let the market go down. That's the only thing he's got going for him. And just like, again, all the guys that hate Obama, the market went up for 8 straight years and he killed some terrorists, right? Here's Trump. Market's going up every day and he's killing terrorists. What's not to like? He's a douchebag about it, but it's the same thing. Market goes up every day and he's killing terrorists. Woo! USA, baby. If it wasn't for the vapes killing us, everything would be fantastic. By the way, I'll be in, anybody in Rhode Island this Saturday? I'm coming to meet William Shatner at Rhode Island Comic-Con. And I just found out, and I didn't realize, a lot of people don't realize, weed is legal in Massachusetts, which is right by Colorado. Oh, wait. Not right by Colorado. It's right. It borders Mexico, Massachusetts. Weed is legal there. So I'm going to make a pit stop in Massachusetts because if you're gonna buy, nobody cares about Shatner. What? I'm gonna ban you. By the way, look at your Grubhub. You're a stud, dude. This dude picked it up at 32.60. Now, that's some tape reading awesomeness. Look at you, man. Breaks 33.50. Look for 35. Hold on for glory. You bottom picking lunatic. Nice. Hey, at least it was at 32.50, so it kind of did make sense. And right now, Brandon's like, you're an idiot. You just told me not to buy it. I told you not to buy it at 33.50. When it got to 32.50, it became interesting again. Oh, yeah, sure you did. Shatner, man. I've met a lot of famous people in my life. I've never met Shatner. I still don't know what I'm going to say. Oh, you want to see my shirt? Check this out. You guys on YouTube, you guys check this shirt. This shirt I'm wearing. I was going to wear Live Long and Prosper and go really geek, but I don't want to piss him off because I know he wasn't a big fan of Leonard Nimoy. I got a better one. Look at that beautiful thing. Now that's art. Is this thing gorgeous, man? So I'm thinking I get Shatner to sign the back of the shirt or something like that and just throw the shirt into the closet. I love this shirt so much. So I hope he likes it too. I was gonna just do some TJ Hooker lines for him or something, or do like something, go really geeky or something. I don't know. I heard if you say the wrong thing, he gets all pissed off. But I think that'd be funny too. You were good on the show, but oh my. In episode 9, when you came through the transporter device and you looked to the left, there was nobody there, and then you were looking to the right in the next scene, and there was all those guys. What is? It's a television show. I Get a Life. That's what I'm getting. I'm getting him to sign Get a Life, William Shatner. These are. He was on a show called Rescue 911, where they would do real live 911 calls, and then they would reenact what happened. These are actual calls. Oh, you remember Rescue? Nobody remembers that show. TJ Hooker. Oh man. I mean, Shatner is like, he's like one of my favorite people. Or I was gonna get him to sign this. Now you want to get totally geeked out? Whoa, that's what I'm talking about. Little William Shatner signature right across the chest. Oh man, look at this thing. That would be sweet. I don't know what I'm going to do. But I know it's a 4-hour drive, and I'm probably going to have to wait online to meet him for an hour and a half. Do I make the pit stop in Massachusetts first? I don't even know the road. Where's Rhode Island? Rhode Island, Massachusetts. What comes first? I don't even know. But I'm all anti-vape now, so if you're gonna vape, as I've read and I've learned from my CBD scientist guy, if you're gonna vape, you got to get it from somewhere where it's legal, because there's a little bit of regulation going on, and you get a better product. And I believe, yeah, right. I believe. By the way, I'm back to just twice a week now for the last couple of weeks. I feel a difference. Absolutely, man. Absolutely feel a difference I feel a difference in my lungs. I feel a difference in, I'm having dreams again, which is weird. If you smoke a lot of pot, you don't dream at night, because you don't go full REM sleep, I don't think. Now that I'm only, I'm smoking like, Thursday, Friday, Sunday. It's weird, man. Now I'm having crazy dreams. I'm even having the old dreams that I used to have. I have this dream where I'm on the Love Boat, and it becomes the Poseidon Adventure. And Julie from the Love Boat's there, and I'm saving her. And then suddenly there's a playground in the ocean, and we're on like these bars, and I'm rescuing Isaac and Julie from the Love Boat. And I've had this dream for like 30 years. I don't know what it means, but I have no idea what it means. This playground in the middle of the ocean. Julie's always there. There's a ship goes over. I save people. We're swimming. There's sharks. And this Grubhub's actually turned into a pretty good trade. Good for you, man. Yeah, absolutely. There's no doubt. There's no doubt that there's a correlation behind the, with the sleep patterns and smoking. You know what else I have found is that I'm not when I do the edibles now, I've got those dank nugs, which are, if you're into edibles, I'm gonna go find these. They're called dank nugs. They're 25 milligrams. They taste phenomenal and they're awesome. But I don't remember shit. And it's almost like when you drink too much and you get a blackout and you don't remember exactly what's going on. It's the only time where weed does that to me. These and I know I had a great time. I just there's areas of not remembering exactly how I got to a certain area. So I remember getting in the car with that lunatic that night, and I remember driving there because he was screaming on the top of his lungs, "This is what I do!" Ah! As he's driving, and I'm in the. It's crazy. I felt like I was in a movie, where with the little Chinese guy. "Who put fuck on you? You put fuck on me?" He was like this little. It was crazy. But then we got to the bar, this rooftop bar. I remember there was the three Puerto Rican girls. One I thought was a dude, looked like Grace Jones. And then I was propositioned, and I don't remember what happened after that. I remember somehow getting home. So there was a big window of something happened. And it definitely wasn't with the Puerto Ricans because I'm not paying $1,000 for anything. I can't believe I was actually propositioned. I felt like I was like, really? Is that where this is going? Did you just ask me for money? I was roofied. Holy shit, Grubhub. This actually might be another range break for you. You get through 3350, this could be it. Right here, live. We inadvertently called the bottom on this trade. And Brandon's still pissed off. Anybody do this at 3260, 3275? You get through this 3350. If you get through 34, then you're looking for the full-blown retrace to the 1 minute. But yeah, definitely little blackout. I mean, all good as long as nobody gets hurt. Oh my God, you guys, $17. I'm sorry, dude. I'm never gonna suggest anything on you guys anymore. You nailed it. Wow. $17 on you guys. You're a stud. We got a guy in here who trades 10,000 share blocks of you guys, and I'm laughing my ass off at him. A month ago, he did it, he got crushed. And then he tried to do it again. I was like, for the love of God, don't do this. Got him out with a profit. And then he was talking about getting back in. I was like, yeah, you just escaped with a profit. But again, he nailed it. 1335, 1340. Dude's crushing the world right now. Because he thinks this thing's gonna. He's not even getting out today, which is just insane. I mean, I don't care. Sell half. He thinks it's good. He really thinks it's a real stock. And I'm trying to convince him. I'm like, no matter what you think, it's legitimately not a real stock. It's, any of these leveraged products is just absurd. But he thinks it's going to $24. And I was like, well, why don't you sell half? Put a stop at 14 at 50 on the rest, and maybe the rest goes to, $24. He's like, it was just $24 a couple of months ago. Now we're going into the winter. Want to go back to $24? You'd like to think that. That's not how this crazy thing works. But massive break. I mean, this is bizarre because usually this stock disintegrates, already. And you've just been trending higher and consolidating and going higher. So there's definitely something to it today. The last 2 days. Crazy. He nailed it. 13.25, I think. Between 13.20, 35, 13.50, something like that. Whatever's cost averaging on 13.50, 13.60. It's awesome. There it is, just hit 17. Oh, good for you. Oh, wait a second. I got to eat some lunch, but Netflix just went green. Seems like the market right now is transitioning. It's coming out of the industrials and going into tech again right now. It's actually happening right here. Out of the banks, out of the industrials, going into tech. Q's been trending higher. The Dow's been trending down. Something going on. All right, y'all. Let's call it for now. Solid Jello going to get on. If you guys want to stop in, you want to hear a guy who knows about some VWAP, my boy Solid Jello. If you guys want to come to the site, listen to him talk for a little while, I'm going to go get myself oh, wait, we just bought Netflix. Oh, Netflix taking over, getting taken over by Amazon. That is a nice little break there. All right, I better get away. I don't want to put a trade on right now. But yeah, U.S. Steel, come on. 30 more cents, baby. Remember, they're reporting, so I'm selling before they report. So if it's up 10% after they report, so what? But if it's down 10% after they report, remember I told you I'm selling. Right, Jimmy? If you just would have listened to me, Jimmy, you would have been all right. But no, Jimmy didn't want to listen. Jimmy listened on the way in, but Jimmy didn't want to listen on the way out. And now me and Jimmy aren't friends anymore. Jimmy, if you're out there, I'm still welcoming you back. I can make you the $300 you lost in the YEX trade back in a day. Give me one more chance, Jimmy. Jimmy. Just one more chance, Jimmy. One more chance. Just give me one more chance, Jimmy. I miss you. All right, Grubhub, good luck with that one. Nice. You break that 33.50, you're looking good. And I'm not kidding about that U.S. Steel. They're reporting in 2 days. I think we'd get the next 29 cents out of it. 12.69 is the target. And if we get the 12.69, I want to see this thing, again. I think we're onto something here. Maybe we caught the bottom on this. Yeah, I'm in. I've been in from 11.20, but there's no way I'm not going to get out because I never make money on this trade. I'm very excited about making anything on U.S. Steel. If the number comes out and we get a chance to buy it back, we're looking at that 13.60 area. And if that breaks, you're looking at a $16 stock, Jimmy. That's right. U.S. Steel, 16. All right. I'm going to get a chicken cutlet stuffed with mozzarella and spinach. You holding U.S. Steel? Are you in from when? In from today, or are you in from 3 days ago? We're in from a week ago already. 4 or 5 days now? Well, that's the bat phone ringing. Nobody calls that phone. Look at you with your Grubhub. Maniac. By the way, LFG. I like that. You know, I've never seen that written out. That's pretty funny. LFG. It's a polite way of saying that. Oh, hey, let's go put Grubhub on the big screen for you. Hang on. But you see what I was saying, right? I didn't want you to buy it in limbo. 33 is a limbo. But once you got to that 3250 washout, then it became a tad more interesting coming off that 3250 area. Now you got, you know, there's your buck. Now you're thinking glory. You get to 34 now. If you get through the 34, you're probably going to get your full retrace to 3509. So again, like I said, you're selling most of it off the first bounce, and now you're playing with house money. So now you let it go. House money all night long. Say what? House money all night long. Say what? All right, I got a chicken cutlet stuffed with mozzarella and spinach waiting for me. Rock out. I'll see you guys. I'll come back at 3 o'clock. We'll wrap up the day. Solid Jello on the wheels of steel. He'll teach you a little bit more about coding and VWAP fancy shit. I'm sure he's got a 1 hour VWAP that's probably telling you where Grubhub's going to go. And nice little trade you got going on here. Now I'm kind of a little upset that I didn't join you. What are you going to do? But nice. I don't know about 37.50, but 35. 35. And Netflix. I mean, Netflix going green in the middle of the day, you're talking about 2.5 points just like that. So reversals always are a good idea. Wow. All right, I got to get it. I know, I ate the pork chops too. Thank you for reminding me. All right, I'll be back. See you, hit the bid room. See you, YouTube. And yeah, wow. A lot of action out here still. A lot of action. Later. See you guys in the room. You guys got the password right. Come and join us. And if anybody's interested, you know, November 16th, I'm going to be banging out these charts. And I'm probably going to sprinkle in a little bit of options for some of the guys. Bodine wants to know a little bit more about options. I got some guys. I'm not going to get too deep into it because we don't have enough time. But I probably will start doing an options class also as like a little additive. Because that's what I learned. That was my first thing. That was the first class I ever taught in this industry. So I loved options. I was an options principal. I had a license, the whole thing. Back when you needed a license to do this shit. Now any crazy bastard with a webcam and an internet connection could be a guru on the internet, right? Woo! We're all so smart. I'll see you guys in about an hour and a half. Latris.